just before stream, but cats will do what cats do best. Be a little pain in the bum. Right, we are running Kabutops today. Let me grab that Kabutops. And we'll call it Dome, seeing as we called the other one Helix. And let's see what we're starting with. Scratch and Harden, not quite as good as Omanyte yesterday, but still not the worst. We've got Absorb at level 10, Mega Drain at level 51. We'll probably have Giga Drain by then. Good morning, David. How are you today? I've gone for Hidden Power Ice this time, because we don't really have that good a learn set, although I might change that thinking about it. Maybe go for... No, we've got Rollout if we want a rock-type move. We'll go for Hidden Power Ice. We've got 65 in Special Attack. That's still perfectly cromulent. So, are we ready? Let's get this run going. No time like the present. Of course, this is the second of 3 fossil runs we're doing this week. We are going to be doing Aerodactyl for maybe the 3rd or 4th time on the channel. Tomorrow at 2 PM United Kingdom time. You're just waking up. I hope you're having a fantastic start to your day. It's very nice to see a Hoppip, because Hoppip can do absolutely nothing to us. So I've been having a very productive morning. I'm halfway through another run in another instance of RetroArch. So hopefully that run will get all recorded. I've got my schedule finalised now for September and most of October. Can get onto recording that in the next couple of days, and everything is looking very, very peachy. I'm very happy with how the channel will be moving forward in the next couple of months. We are going to be bringing back Just the Battles, as we see now, in a new form called the End of the Line. And the first prereq of that is going out the first week of September. All you lovely people in stream have already seen that run, because that was the Omanyte run yesterday. So that VOD's going to be going unlisted towards the end of this week, early next week. Just so that we don't have confusion with 2 very similar runs. Well, 2 identical runs, just 1 live and 1 pre-recorded. Now, we aren't going to bother doing too much grinding. We'll beat up anything that comes in front of us. Because honestly, I don't think the Rival's first battle is going to be incredibly difficult at all. Because of course, we do have that resistance to tackle. I'm thinking we might... And this is just a might. We might be able to make some use out of Fury Cutter at some point in this run. I'm thinking maybe for Whitney, if we can build it up against the Clefairy. And I really like Kabutops. I think all of the Gen 1 fossils are very good designs, but Kabutops is particularly menacing, isn't it? Kind of looks a little bit like Genesect as well, or I suppose Genesect kind of looks like Kabutops. God, that was a bit of bad movement there, wasn't it? But we shall have to see how we get on over the course of the next hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. Hopefully it won't take 2 hours. If it does, we know we've done something wrong. Let's have a little chat with Elm. And then let's make our way towards our first gym together. We're going to have a similar issue to what we had in the Omanyte run, in that we are weak to Mudslap. So even though on paper we have the type advantage, we are of course going to be weak to Falkner's signature move. It does kind of look rock bug, doesn't it? You can definitely see that, Deadpool. Wouldn't surprise me at all, Gemma, if someone in Game Freak designed Genesect to be an armoured Kabutops. It would make an awful lot of sense, especially now that we can find the Kabuto line in the wild over in Galar, can't we? I reckon a Rock Steel type would have been very interesting for Kabutops. It would definitely have changed things up a little bit. Yes, it is very weird that Falkner's signature move is a ground type when he is a flying type trainer. But then, of course, they did change that in Generation 4. You get Roost instead, which makes an awful lot more sense. I do like Roost as a move, actually. I always try and find an excuse to put it in the backports. Welcome in, Derek. How are you today? I hope you're having a fantastic start to your day. If it's the early morning, a fantastic day in general if it's not early morning. Goodness me, the encounters on this particular run. Kabutops' learn set does make it feel like it should be a grass type, but we can use that to our advantage. because it will at least mean we'll have something to hit those pesky water types. We'll have something at least super effective for Chuck and his Poliwrath, which is going to be one of the big stumbling blocks. Thank you for always popping in, Chad. It's always appreciated. Welcome in, Johnny Ranking. It is very, very good to be back in streaming. I am definitely hitting my stride once more. We're not doing 3 streams at all. That's a lie. We're doing 4 streams this week. So, I'm sorry about that. You've got me on 4 different occasions. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday this week are when the live streams are happening. And then next week we're having a big mammoth stream on Friday to celebrate 2 years together here on the channel. We're going to be doing Giraffaric 3 times, once in Fire Red, once in Crystal, and once in Emerald. Looking forward to the first 2 parts of that run, not so much the last part, but we shall see how it goes. Now, this Spearow is going to be absolutely no problem at all, of course, because Peck does next to nothing. Let us now take on Birdkeeper Rod. And again, it's going to be the same thing. 1 to 2 HP worth of damage every time we get hit. Nothing major there. A crit was 2. Goodness me. And we'll just potion for Falconer and hope for the best. We do have relatively decent attack, even if Scratch isn't the greatest attack in the world. It's a 2-shot on the Pidgey. Let's see how we go on the Pidgeotto. Unlike on the Omastar run, I beg your pardon, it looks like Pidgeotto's going for Mud Slap every single turn. Doesn't matter in the end though, the RNG went our way and we get the first badge in 5 minutes 52 seconds. Right, so we can start focusing on Bugsy. Now looking at that, we can't learn Swift, which is particularly annoying. Which does mean we're going to have to try and pull something else out of the bag for the Bugsy fight. Let's now deposit our Togepi egg, never to look at it again. Welcome in, Sora Donald Goofy. And I am trying to keep up with chat at the moment, but there are a couple of bits I do need to check as I'm heading down the Union Cave. Because we can't learn Mud Slap either. So I'm wondering if maybe we should do Struggle Strats for Rival 2. Could be our best option, you know. Its level up learn set is pretty hot garbage, isn't it? Let's not beat around the bush here. We get Slash though, but we have Headbutt by that point. And I will always take the chance to flinch over the chance of a crit. The chance to flinch is much less situational. We'll grab ourselves a Repel. Now I must remember when we get to Goldenrod to pick up Rollout this time, because it could come in very handy. Let's now have a little chat with Camper Roland. We'll take on his Nidoran male, rather. Congratulations on your shiny Zubat, Gemma. Absolutely not. We're not facing a Bellsprout. That thing's terrifying. There's a reason we've not done Sprout Tower yet, but we can take on a rat. So it's very weird having a water type that you have to play like a grass type. I really should have used Absorb there, but we're splitting hairs on that one. Especially early game, it doesn't really matter if you use the wrong move once or twice. It will all average out in the end. So it's a one-shot on Birdkeeper Peter's pair of Pidgey. That's incredibly difficult to say. It's definitely not the worst, but it is up there as one of the worst. Early shinies are always a very nice thing to have. Right, let's drink this Onyx, and you can see that even though it's 4 times weak, it didn't one-shot. We'll do the same against all 3 of these Geodude. Try and get as many levels as possible. You can never have enough money to buy the Slowpoke tail, unfortunately, because he sets it at $1 Pokédollar above the limit for the bag. So we'll never be able to know what happens. It's a scripted cutscene, unfortunately, there. Which is a crying shame, really. No, I've got to be honest, it doesn't feel like a water type just looking at it. I'm sure they have their reasons, though. And who are we to question, Game Freak? Level 15 acquired. We're going to try and get as many levels as possible, I think, before taking on Rival 2. Although we don't want to do Hyger Anthony. I've changed my mind. Abort mission. Get some repels. We're not going to bother with super potions. I reckon we'll be absolutely fine. Grab ourselves a cheeky little heal. And let's activate Kurt. Gonna pause the timer at 10:10 and readjust myself. Hyper Anthony wants to fight anyone, really. Let's catch the HM, friends. I don't have a repel on, by the way, at the moment. Paris was just being more camera shy than normal. Let's grab this, Paris. Hopefully it won't take more than 2 or 3 balls to catch. But we all know what Paris is like when it comes to streams. Very grumpy Pokemon. There we go. And let's take on a Psyduck? No, we're going to catch a Psyduck, rather. And Psyduck has been learning from Paris today. There we go. 2 HM friends acquired. Let's unpause the timer. We're going to do a little bit of grinding here in the forest. We're going to lose time in the early game to gain time later, hopefully. Because we don't stand a cat in hell's chance of getting through Rival 2 at the moment. We only have Scratch. And we need to get the levels. So we're going to take a little bit of time here in the forest. If we find a level 7 Oddish, we can't actually because the time is not night. So we can't get a Sweet Center, unfortunately. So we're just going to have to wing these encounters. The Cocoon Pokemon are absolutely fantastic to encounter, of course. Give a lot of experience, a lot of defensive experience. Which is what we need to get through Rival number 2. Yep, no Ancient Power until 65. We're not going to be able to Ancient Power Bruno this time. So we're going to have to come up with another strategy to defeat Bruno. Not quite sure what that is yet, but I'm sure we'll find out in due course. We might even be able to return him, to be fair. Yeah, this learn set is not good. We are dealing with quite a terrible learn set, which is weird because on the Omanyte and Kabuto run where you evolve, the tables are turned. Omanyte starts with a significantly worse learn set than Kabuto does. At least you have Scratch and Harden as a Kabuto. As an Omanyte, you get nothing. Well, I say you get nothing, you get Constrict, but you get what I mean there. You might as well have nothing. I think we're going to get all the way up to like level 17, level 18. It's going to be a while here. So we can settle down and just get relaxed, really. There's not much more we can do. We got to do the grind occasionally. I'm thinking as well I'll pick up Swagger on this run. Could come in a little bit handy. Plan for Garcia on Rival 2? We don't have a plan yet, honestly. We're going to wing it. Half considering going in with Struggle, which is why I'm trying to get these extra levels. Otherwise, we might just try and brute force with Absorb and hope for the best. That is very true, Lord Cooler. We don't get Earthquake, which would have been one of our best physical moves. We are stuck utilising our worst stat for the more powerful moves, because yes, we get Ancient Power at 65, but that's only a 60 base power move. I'm not sure about that. I've got to be honest, I've never really tried to get hit with Swagger. If I get hit when I've used Swagger against a Pokemon, I often just take the reset. It hurts a lot. Let's do a cheeky little heal, then we'll get some more levels. I know that the London 2012 Olympic Stadium got used by a football club in the end, so I'm hoping that these days sustainability is a bit more of a factor than it may have been in another day and age with the Olympics. I mean, that's just RNG in Pokemon. If you give a status ailment to the enemy, it's going to mean nothing. But you dare to get confused, you're going to hit yourself every single bloody time. Yes, it was West Ham. Couldn't quite remember. I know Manchester City got the Commonwealth Stadium from where I grew up. I actually went to one of the opening parties of the Commonwealth Games back in 2002. I won a newspaper promotion to go and meet some of the athletes. I really don't like rollout as a move. It locks you in for 5 turns, and it has that 10% chance to miss every single time. I think rollout's overrated, but we're probably going to need it in this one. They definitely should add Crystal speedruns as an Olympic event. You're not wrong there, Derek. Especially if it was on 4 times speed, right? With, you know what, actually, I still don't feel confident. I'm going to go with my gut instinct here and just use up all of these scratches. We might take a little bit of extra time, but I'd rather be cautious on this run. Sometimes it pays to play it safe. And balancing risk and reward at the moment, the reward is getting through Rival 2 a few minutes quicker, but the risk is we get locked out of Ilex Forest to do extra grinding. I read something about the Olympics being associated with esports. Congratulations on the shiny Carnivine. Very difficult for me to see. I've got very bad green colour vision. I remember something about esports in the Olympics being a thing, but I can't quite remember what. Pull Me Backport could be very fun. It's actually one I've been considering. I love that line. I've got a real soft spot for all the Pika clones, except Plus on mine, and they can get in the bin. So I can definitely consider it. We're probably going to be doing, for prereqs, 1 Backport video a month. I reckon it's the pace we're going to go with. Because, I mean, I'm letting you in on a little secret here. We're planning on going back up to 3 videos a week from September. So that should be an awful lot of fun. Best Pika clone? That's a very difficult question, isn't it? They're all, well, barring Plus and Minun, they're all really cute. Dedenne probably has the edge for me, but Mimikyu, Togedemaru, Pawmi, Pachirisu especially is probably my second favourite. Probably goes Dedenne, Pachirisu, and then the rest all huddled on the 3rd place on the podium. Their rodents are some of my favourite types of animals, so it stands to reason that I'm going to like each and every one of them. We're almost done with this grinding now. We'll get up to level 19. It should match up very nicely, you know, with running out of scratch power points. There we go. We have Leah. Not that that's going to be much use for the Ghastly. Let's get ourselves into the well now. I don't class Marill as a Pika clone, honestly, because it's not got the electric type. Pawmi is very cool. It was Pawmi, Relor, and Brambleghast, wasn't it, the 3 Pokemon that share the same evolution method in Generation 9? And all three of them are very good Pokemon. I like each and every one of them. Thank you for the lurk, Luke. I hope you have a fantastic little bit of rest. Sometimes work does take it out of your social battery, doesn't it? Yes, the dung beetle Pokemon. It was known as Peekaboo back in the day. There we go. We're through Team Rocket at the very least. Let's see how we get on in Bugsy's gym. I'm hoping to be at least level 21 by the end of this gym. We shall see what happens, though. We're probably strong enough to beat up Piker Anthony now, if need be. So we're going to do full trainers in this gym. We've got to do pretty much everyone in the local vicinity. Let's try and get through rival number 3. Rival number 3? Rival number 2, rather. Dome is decapitating the bugs, you're not wrong. Oh, Christ, we're poisoned. Just what we need. There we go. Now, I can hear a delivery in the vicinity that I'm hoping don't knock here, because I don't want stream to be interrupted. I'll have to keep an eye on that. 2 shots on the first 2 Pokemon. Obviously not going to outspeed the Scyther. Hopefully Fury Cutter doesn't build up enough. Got very close, but we did just about make it through in 20 minutes and a few seconds. Let's take a heal now. We're going to use a Super Potion here for a heal. And I reckon, you know, we're going to have to go on the struggle grind. Probably going to be the best way to get through Rival 2. I do know that Dome can learn Fury Cutter. I'm going to pause the timer here. And I'm going to have serious talk with you all for just a second. Yesterday, we had a period in stream where the backseat gaming, the Karening as it's come to be known, was really high, where you're all telling me what to do. Well, not all of you, but some of you were. And I'm really trying to avoid that in this stream because it does distract. I do know that we learn Fury Cutter, but Ghastly quad resists Fury Cutter. That would be a really bad play to use Fury Cutter against rival number 2. I might teach it anyway because I'm considering using it for Whitney, but against rival 2, we are going to get paralyzed if we do that. So that means Fury Cutter won't build, and we'll be stuck with a quad-resisted base 10 power move. So please do not tell me what to do or give suggestions, because I'm winging it, but I've winged pretty much every single run that I've done. So I'm going to stop the serious talk now, I'm going to stop being grumpy, but please do not Karen me, as we're calling it now, because it is incredibly off-putting. Let's resume the timer and start getting on the struggle grind. I didn't start with Kabuto on this run because this is part of a different series. I thought it'd be interesting to do some fully evolved Pokemon in Pokémon Crystal from the very beginning. So that's why we've got the red graphics up as well. We'll do the Kabuto into Kabutops line at some point. Don't worry about that. Never a bad time, Malik. Welcome in. How many times do I think I've completed Crystal in my lifetime? Far too many times to really know what to do with. Several hundred times, probably at this point. It's at a point now where I do have many dreams about Pokemon Crystal. We're going to use this Hoppip as an excuse to get rid of all these Harden, because it can't hit us at all. I doubt I could do it blindfolded, but I could definitely do it with someone telling me where I am. I suppose that would be blindfolded, wouldn't it, if I turn away? If someone tells me where I am in real time, I could probably complete the game now, as long as I know which move's in which slot. I wasn't getting mad. Wasn't getting mad at all. I was just getting a little bit more serious with you all. Because there were a few comments on the last run overnight, some that I did remove because they were quite frankly very rude and nasty. But you got to think, I know what I'm doing. I wouldn't go into your job and tell you what to do. Therefore, don't come into my job and tell me what to do. It's as simple as that, really. How do I know I'm not blindfolded now? I am. I've just got to see through a blindfold. Just things across the course of 2 streams getting a little bit too much. Struggle is actually calculated from physical attack and normal damage. It just bypasses damage counts, which means that the pink bow does actually boost struggle of all things. Which is something I do believe Snowy, the lovely Snowy Totodile, discovered. Snowy is an absolute genius when it comes to this game, I will tell you that for free. Let's shimmy absorb up to there. We'll get headbutt after this. That is very true. Different people do have different tolerance levels for backseating. And even between stream to stream, I have different tolerance levels, but when I've planned something out, or when I've made a genuine mistake, I don't need reminding of it. That's what especially happened in the Omanyte run yesterday, because I forgot to get Ice Beam. And then somebody in chat said Ice Beam's available in Goldenrod City about 2 or 3 minutes after I said I forgot to get Ice Beam in Goldenrod City. It just rubs you up the wrong way sometimes. And like anyone, you have good and bad days, don't you? Some days where things get to your nerves a little bit more than they perhaps should do. The good news is today I'm feeling pretty happy. Struggling with my words a little bit. I'm in the middle of a Crohn's flare-up, and one of the things with that is you get horrible brain fog. So you guggle up your words, or muddle up your words if you like. And so if I start stumbling over a few words here and there, you'll know exactly why. And also if you hear that in a couple of voiceovers, you'll know exactly when it was recorded. Having fun is the main thing, not just for me, but for everybody in stream. I always try and put a smile on all you lovely people's faces. Some days I'm more successful at that than others, but I always give it a good, solid go. It's not good when... I speak for a living now, obviously, doing this. And it's not great when I'm quite often messing up my words on voiceovers. I'm doing the Gyarados voiceover today, and I've done probably about 40 retakes already because I just cannot finish sentences off. It feels like my mouth is suddenly the wrong shape for words. We're gonna struggle strat this rival. One shot on the Ghastly. If he didn't reflect there, we'd have been absolutely fine. It was the right shape for lunch. I had a chippy for lunch today. See, I would rather the rival didn't use Reflect on turn 1. Because the only way to get through this is if he doesn't Reflect. Yes, I had a chippy for the first time in about 3 months today. And God, was it needed. There we go. We're going to get through this rival battle now. There we go. 26 minutes and we're through Rival 2. Something tells me that Almastar's going to be top of the end of the line leaderboard after this run, you know? I mean, if you're missing an S, maybe look down behind the back of the sofa. It could be there. HMO 1 acquired, which is Cut. We could teach Cut to our Kabutops. We're not going to, because that would be silly. Instead, we'll teach it to our Paris. We are, however, going to teach Headbutts as soon as we get the TM for that. That is an infinitely better move than Scratch. Struggle, you know, is sometimes the best strat to use. It certainly is a lot quicker than what we could have done with Fury Cutter. Happy Tuesday, GG, how are you? I'm having a much better day now that we're through Rival 2. There's a thorn in our side. I do just want to move Headbutt into its rightful position, and we're going to beat up Picnicagina's Pokemon. I knew Struggle was a half-decent move anyway in Gen 2 from many previous runs, but it was on the Magikarp into Gyarados run, which is coming out at the start of September, that I really realised Struggle isn't that bad. As long as you've got some way of healing your HP, Struggle isn't the worst in the world. I'm going to pause the timer because we've got to catch the Abra. However, I'm going to make sure our Route 34 encounters are proper. They are this time. Right, let's get that timer back up on screen. And let's now get our Abra. You're at work. I hope that work is going very well for you, GG. Grab the Great Ball. I know, biggest spoiler we've ever had, Kanbei. We have our Abra. Let's unpause the timer now and do a cheeky little heal here in Goldenrod. I reckon we're going to learn Rollout fairly early on, you know. It is stab. It's not the best move, but we can use it in certain places. We get Abra straight away now in the challenge runs. Good morning, Alan. How are you? I hope you enjoyed the Wheezing run. There we go. You've already watched it twice. Goodness. I wish Magikarp got flailed before it evolved as well. Thank you for popping in. I hope that you have a fantastic day at work, Adrian. I'm sure we'll catch up very, very soon. I haven't done a Milotic run yet, no. I don't think I'm down for that pain at the moment after doing Magikarp so recently. It is good to have a better normal type move on the learn set. Feel a lot more confident in the upcoming battles. We've got base 80 speed, Kanbei, but at that first red fight, we will not outspeed the Pikachu with base 80 speed. Hence why we got the Quick Claw. Because it might be that we have enough attack to get through that battle. The backport of Milotic sounds like absolute hell, and why am I thinking of ways I could do it? It's a more important question. Oh Christ. Headbutt PP. We're going to have to do a rewind here. I have actually started picking up the Quickie Seed quite often. If we had Swords Dance, this run would be absolutely glorious. I've not done a full-on rewind like that in quite some time, no. The Reggies are literally impossible, Luke. You know that. I would love to see a newer Gen 2 game. I think they did a really good job with Let's Go. Genuinely think that Let's Go is a very strong entry in the Pokemon series. Trouble with Wishy-Washy is I don't know how I'd do its ability. I'd love to see Legend Celebi. Crit didn't actually matter there. Yeah, this battle's free. And there we go, we're through Whitney. Abilities can be coded in, it's just that's a very specific ability with a sprite change, which makes it a little bit more difficult. Yep, only works on level 20 onwards as well. So there are a lot of variables to go in with that. And Rock Smash acquired. We don't want to get stuck by him. We would be an advantage with abilities, but the thing with the backports is they're supposed to be a bit busted and broken. Which Pokemon had the easiest time with Whitney? The Pokemon I recorded earlier today who got 2 one-shots. Staraptor's not on my radar for a backport at the moment, I've got to be honest with you. Because a backport creates... I'll level with you all now. A backport is a very, very big endeavour for not much of a payoff. In terms of time put into something. So I'm only really doing them if I find I can make something unique out of the run. I'm halfway through that run at the moment, Kanbei. I've not got to Karen yet. But yes, we one-shot her Clefairy, one-shot her Miltank. In the time it takes for me to create one backport, I can probably make 3 or 4 different pre-recorded videos. Which is why, and it's very selfish to say, I'll only really honour backport requests if someone donates a not insignificant amount of money to keep the channel going. Because at that point, I'm taking away from something else I could be doing for the channel to help keep me in food, ostensibly. So I do have to balance the time fairly equally. The backports at the moment are more of a hobby than a job, if you like. Because this is my whole living, ostensibly. I feel very privileged to be able to bring these runs together and have this as my job. But yeah, we do have to keep me in KFC. Not wrong there. I mean, cheap plug, but my Patreon has a very expensive tier where you can request a run, including a backport, and that's 1 run per month, as long as people are on that tier. It's an interesting job. It's definitely got its drawbacks, especially on those days where you're not quite feeling good or you're not feeling at full fet, a little bit like yesterday, a little bit like earlier this morning. Because when I was on stream yesterday, another reason why I got a little bit tetchy, because I was masking an awful lot of pain. Kanbei, I'll level with you. You've been a massive supporter from the channel since day one. Message me with a backport and I'll try my best to do it. You've been around since the very beginning. It's the least I can do to say thank you to you. I'm not just saying that because you've contributed very, very much financially to the channel. I'm just saying that because you've been a lovely person in chat for, God, nearly 2 years. Oh, good lord, that sounds terrifying, Oddish. To be fair, I did enjoy the Blossom run. Making you blush is better than making you cry. I will say that much. But now, as I always say, I never expect anyone to contribute anything to the channel. As long as you're having fun, as long as you're leaving with a smile on your face, then I am more than happy with my work. The adverts more than pay for what I need for this channel to keep me in food, keep a roof over my head. Anything else is just a little Brucey bonus, as it were. Oh god, we can't even learn strength. I was kind of hoping we would have strength to give us that in-betweeny move between return and head butte. Yes, Kabutops. Actually, I don't wish I was recording in KFC. Their Wi-Fi's terrible. But I'm not too far away from one, though I'm very, very annoyed with them. I ordered my regular order from them last weekend. All I got was the bloody chips. Nothing else. No chicken. No food. Just some chips. And the chips are pants. They're the worst part of the meal. I mean, have you seen the size of its booty? Kabutops can easily push boulders with its booty. Who says you need hands for strength? Yeah, I was so annoyed at KFC. It was literally pure disappointment that got delivered. Oh, I do love a good potato wedge. I got a refund through Uber Eats, but I just didn't eat that night, I've got to be honest with you. I was too tired. And by that point, I was like, oh, sod it, I'll just eat in the morning. So I grabbed myself a Tesco meal deal in the morning. Apparently, if you get a mess up of food on your Uber Eats order, they don't actually send you out your food. They just refund occasionally if they determine that you're in the right. I do like a good MacD's, but I can't eat red meat, so half of the menu's off limits. Around here, you're better off just collecting, but it's that slight bit too far to justify collecting because it'll be cold by the time I get home. See, I've had the same issue when ordering through Just Eat, so I'm wondering if it's a policy of that particular KFC. I've got Uber One, so the delivery isn't that much, and I do appreciate the little discounts if you order enough food. A sponsorship. I'm just going to pause the timer because I'm very thirsty, actually, talking of all this food. Just imagining the salt in my mouth from all the salty food, and God, that makes you thirsty. See, it's different up here, Oddish. McDonald's is on delivery. We really are back to our old streams, aren't we, if we're talking about fast food? Why did they choose Suicune as a mascot for Crystal? Probably because out of the three of them, it's got the most mysterious aura. It oozes mystiquery. Hydration is incredibly important. I do remember the last time we talked about waffles. I wasn't able to track down a Pokemon waffle maker, but I did get a waffle maker and it's since broken. I do like a good bit of Mac delivery. I think a lot of those kitchen gadgets, especially the ones that are not the most expensive, I should say, and are built cheaply, they only last a few months, don't they? I love my bread maker. I really love my bread maker. It's really good for cakes as well. And I made some jam in mine a few weeks ago. I just got some Deadly by Midnight jam from Tesco. Did I even pick up this nugget? Yes, I did. I can't even pronounce that, Chilling Lurking, so I'm going to say the answer's no. Yes, you can make jam in the bread maker I've got. Double checking I've picked everything up, because I've got to be honest with you all, I've not been paying attention to this run. Oh, we didn't get Surf, I swear. No, we spoke to the wrong person. I've not really been paying attention to this run. I've been having too much fun chatting with all of you. So it's a bit of a surprise to me where we are in the game. Too much food talk, too much very good company, I will say. Right, we've definitely got the secret potion. I've also got the hiccups, so I'm trying to mask them as well as I can. Let's stick Head Butte into top spot. Ouch, that jump kick hurt. Ooh, I would have them with jam because I can't have cream. Of yet more food intolerances. I would dread to think how uncomfortable riding on a Kabutops is. Or even imagining it sends a pain right down to my metatarsals. I do remember some Pokemon-themed packaging in the shops back in the early 2000s. I couldn't tell you what were in them. Thank you for popping in, Benjamin. I hope you have a fantastic day. I'm sure we'll catch up very soon. A level 36 acquired. Let's use one of our super potions. Do we have any super repels? Was I that sensible? Yes, I was. Only bought 11 for reasons beyond the realms of normal human comprehension. But let's see how we get on against Chuck, shall we? Very well is how we get on against Chuck. Storm badge, 4558. I like to think that Kabutops uses its scythes as little propellers to get through the water. Let's beat up this red Gyarados. There we go. It could walk on water. That would be incredibly fun. Grab that rare candy will also, at this point, do Sprout Tower. We might as well get it out of the way. Why am I talking to him? This is an early run. I think I've seen videos of that lizard species. The liar turns up conveniently late, as we come to expect from him. And it's at this point in the run, I just want to remind you that on Friday week, so a week on Friday, we are doing a big mega stream starting from 2 PM. We're celebrating 2 years of runs here together on the channel. We're going to be running Giraffe Rig 3 times. Once in Crystal, once in Fire Red, and once in Emerald. We do have another stream coming out tomorrow. That is going to be Aerodactyl. We're completing the trio of Gen 1 fossils. And we have a video coming out on Thursday. I do believe that for all you non-HM friends, it's going to be Weezing, and for all of you HM friends, it should be Kingdra. So that's the content coming out this week. It doesn't feel like a year since the last anniversary stream. I completely agree there, Kanbei. Because last anniversary, didn't we take the slowest 5 around Johto as a whole party together? I don't think I'll be backporting Cradley and Armaldo anytime soon, Paul, but never say never. It would be interesting to see how they go through Generation 2. We were talking about backports earlier, and I have been completely honest with all of you lovely people. The amount of time put in for a backport really doesn't show in the amount I get out of it personally, unless it's a Pokemon I'm really wanting to run. So unfortunately, I'm not a DJ with backports anymore, and I'm not taking requests. Alolan Ninetales would be very fun to backport. In fact, I've got everything but sprite work done for that one. Where the hell am I going? This is one of those streams where I just cannot figure out what on earth I'm supposed to be doing. After this rocket section, I might take a very quick break. Just to refocus my attention, because it's all over the goddamn place at the moment. Ooh, backport I want to do the most. At the moment, it's Spinder. Because, you know me, I love a good bear Pokemon. And I eventually want to gather an army of bears in Generation 2. Oyama's beautiful and blue, isn't it? Yes, the Dizzy Bear, we've got the Huggy Bear, we've got the Sleepy Bear, we've got the Angry Bear. Double posting happens, it's part of life on the internet, isn't it, Sora Donald Goofy? Nothing rude about that. Sometimes. Probably wasn't even you. It's probably a YouTube server saying, oh, we've got this message. And then another YouTube server says, oh, we've got this message. I will say I was a lot older than I should have been before realising you could disable those statues. I mean, a panda's close enough to a bear. Bear or bear adjacent then, if we're splitting hairs about it. There we go, we've got our pair of passwords. We'll get the protein. I'm trying to think what bears we have. We've got Snorlax, we've got Ursaring, we've got Spinder. Oh, who's that silly Cubchoo? And Beartic, there we go, from Gen 5. Gen 7 gave us Stuffle and Beware. Gen 8 gave us Cubfu and Urshifu. Are there any others we can think of? Pancham and Pangoro, yes. From Generation 6, wasn't it? Is Pancham the one that needs a Dark-type Pokemon in the party to evolve it? Red pandas are so cute. Ursaluna, very good shout. I forgot about that one. In the days where Ursaring was introduced, I think it would be Alfax. I would love to see a turkey Pokemon. I would run the heck out of that in Gen 2. I see what you did there, Kanbei. I beg your pardon, game? No, we're not getting Border Douglas. Scam. There we go. Yes, a donkey Pokemon was introduced in Generation 7, Mudbray. I can assure you I'm pressing the down button. I'm just not pressing it at the correct time. There we go, with through price. 52.14 for Price's badge. Mudbray and Mudsdale. Let's go and do Jazz now, and then we'll take a very brief 3-minute break. It's not that bad at 4 times speed when I'm concentrating, but today, I've got to be honest, concentration's not there. Just more interested about having fun with you lovely people in the chat. Oh, you're the same height as me, Oddish. I'm going to blame Mercury being in Gatorade. I think it's now back in Gatorade. That's why I'm playing badly, honest. The run is going well, considering I'm not paying attention to it at all. There we go, Jazz is done. 55-26. Let's pause the timer at 55:37. Yes, Mercury is currently in Gatorade. I shall be back in about 3 minutes' time. I'm going to have a little stretch, rehydrate, and try and refocus my head for the hard part of this run. I'll see you in a couple. And we are back. Thank you so much for your patience, and thank you, D1, for the compliments about the break screen. We are going to unpause the time at 55:37, and we're going to carry on with this run. I was thinking, actually, in that little break, I've said it since the very beginning of doing live streamed runs, but quite often, the live stream runs end up being 5 to 10 minutes slower than their equivalent pre-recorded run. But I will happily take that as a payoff, because the fun I've had in chat today, it more than makes up for the lack of speed in the run, should we say. Gonna get some calcium as well. Dump that in our Kabutops. We could do with both the special attack and the special defense. Also going to boost our happiness because we're going to go onto the top floor. And we are going to get return. We're going to teach that in place of headbutt. Headbutt's been a great move for us, but it's definitely served its purpose. Headbutt is base 70 power. We have a base 92 power return at the moment. Of course, that's only going to get higher and higher. We gained a good amount of defensive stat experience when we're in Azalea. Because the leaderboard's an automated script, that would be a lot of effort to go for. Marking it with a dot. I could definitely consider it, though, at some point. This will be going on to the Just the Battles leaderboard. Or should I say the end of the line as it is now. Exited down the Almanite run yesterday. That is all good to go at the start of September. Have a great time at work, chilling, lurking. Thank you for popping in this morning. I'm sure we'll catch each other on a stream soon. I always forget, Oddish, that you didn't spend your childhood in the United Kingdom. I'm one of those people, I mostly work in metric these days. I find metric a lot easier to understand. You unfortunately cannot expect a Diamond Pearl Platinum run of Rampardos. I mostly stick to Generation 2 with the odd Gen 3 and a Gen 1 remake thrown in for good measure. But I would be very interested to see how Rampardos does in the Gen 4 games. Metric just makes more sense. I reckon at some point in the past there has to have been an actual Blarney Stone, whatever one of those may be. I'm an uncultured swine. Yes, we do have a very big attack stat as a Kabutops. Unfortunately, though, we can't get stab water moves with our massive attack stat. That is very true. I don't understand the cup system. Just give it to me in grams. That's all we need. I don't think it's too much to ask for. Grammage. I would appreciate it if we don't speculate on what other runners are doing in this chat. Just throwing it out there, I don't particularly like having that in the chat because it could lead to disappointment if it doesn't happen. That's a very good way to think about it, Oddish. Not really got anything great for this Meganium. Nothing would be a one-shot there. Haunter. I'll let you fill in the rest this time. There we go, we're through the rival. It's roughly the halfway point of this horrible, horrible rocket section. I'm going to keep my thoughts to myself on what you've just said there, Kanbei. Not going to say any more than that. Tyrantrum definitely would beat up the competition. Tyrantrum's one of the backports I am absolutely considering. Because somebody, I can't remember exactly who it is, in chat yesterday suggested Battle of the Tyrants with Tyrantrum and Tyranitar. Oddish, if you drop me a message after stream, I will fill you in. I won't stream anything other than Pokemon on my YouTube channel. But I would consider it on Twitch, maybe. Depends on how much reading there is, because I am heavily dyslexic. Like, really dyslexic. I think the Gen 8 fossils would eat Generation 2 for dinner. In whichever orifice it goes in. Welcome in, Elite Four Alex. I hope you're having a fantastic day. It was you, Lord Cooler. I will make a note of that for when I do the backports to make sure that I give you credit for the idea, because it's absolutely genius. There are a few runs, especially in the early days, where dyslexia did hinder. Because I would see a move beginning with S and assume it was Surf, or I'd see a move beginning with H and think it was Hidden Power. And then I've clicked the wrong move and disaster has happened. I like the idea of Pupitar sleeping in the mountains for thousands of years. God, that's not the radio tower. That's not the radio tower either. For God's sakes. I'm also going to blame the fact that the overlay's red now for this run. It's throwing me off. I'm used to having blue out the corner of my eye. Don't drink me, Golbat. Oh, the radio tower. When I'm recording runs on my own for the prereqs, generally, radio tower is when I'll get my phone out and I'll start playing Pokemon Go. Because there's literally nothing you need to do here in radio tower. The most focus you need to have is either on Rival 4 or getting the radio card at the end. I think we're running a couple of levels higher at this point than we were with Omanyte. Or Omastar, I should say, which makes sense, seeing as we did that little bit of pre-grinding. Definitely paid off, though. Just the 2 resets so far. Marie Pink Bomi, thank you very much. And there we go. Radio card acquired. Off to Mahogany we go. We'll go through the ice path. Oh, the last time I played Crystal as the game intended. A very long time ago now. Whenever our last Vanilla Nuzlocke series was. Although one of the things I'm going to do in my spare time is I'm going to create a purely vanilla Crystal game with the linking cord and the other evolution methods. I'm going to add a Nuzlocke mode into it. It's one of the two pieces of the radio card you need to wake up the Snorlax and Kanto. You also need the X-Spin card from the director of the Lavender Radio Tower. That is very true. We won't have to change the starters when we do the first Evos. The series I'm looking most forward to, though, is the mid-stage Evos. I think they're going to be very interesting. There are some Pokemon like Poliwhirl which might end up doing better than both Politoed and Poliwrath. I always leave the starter choice up to chat when I do Nuzlocks. Anything else in this bag we don't need? I think we're full of protein now, so we'll sell that. And then let's get some max repels. There we go. Let's now go through Claire's gym. That's a very good question, Valentin. I could see myself probably being one of those trainers in Norman's gym in Hoenn. Because the normal type has kind of become my type in Gen 2. Definitely not an ace trainer. I'm not cool enough to be an ace trainer. Let's see how bad Claire is, shall we? Going to be one shot on all three Dragonair, which is a very good start. Right, let's have a think about this. Start off with a Hidden Power Ice or two. Going to try and keep her out of healing range, which I think I've failed this time to do. Never mind, she didn't bother to heal. We've defeated Claire, we can go and grab her badge from the Dragon's Den now. And make our way over towards the Pokémon League. I'm not quite sure what you mean by Pokégirl there. It's a term I'm not too familiar with, I've got to be honest. And we obtain the Rising Badge in a time of 1 hour, 10 minutes and 5 seconds. Gonna pause the timer there, and I'm just gonna get my spreadsheet up because I'm a nerd like that. We got Claire's badge in 56:44 with Omastar. I'm kind of basic. Misty was the only female protagonist when I watched the anime, so I'm probably going to say her. Got a soft spot for Janine, though. She's so useless. See, I think Cynthia's overhyped. Thank you, Urban Huntsman. That's very kind of you to say. The fact that I swept Cynthia with a Wormadam, a Mothim, and a Beautifly. Not a Mothim, a Dustox. And a Beautifly shows that you just need to know how to play her AI. Yes, Quiverdance saved the day in all three of those. Because her Spiritomb, all it will do is Sucker Punch. I rarely stream on Twitch these days, but when I do, I am open to playing the other Pokemon games, absolutely. Welcome in, Snicky. How are you? I hope you're having a fantastic day. Kabutops is doing alright for itself. Not as good as Omastar yesterday, but that's to be expected with the learn set we're dealing with. If you have a Pokemon that can really hone in and set up against that Spiritomb, Cynthia is easy. If you don't, she'll be your worst nightmare. I feel in another time and place, you know, that Karen and Cynthia would have a bit of beef. I feel like they're very similar personalities. We'll say no to Mega Drain. If we need that later, we do have Giga Drain. From Erica. I did make a little bit of a misclick there. Click return against the Haunter. But it's all good in the end. We are through Arrival 5. People sleep on Gastrodon. Gastrodon is a very, very strong Pokemon. Slow as anything, but so bulky. Right, let's say thank you to the HM friends. So it's thank you to Kenya, to Abra, merci to Paris, thank you to Psyduck. I had a sub, didn't I? And a big thank you to all of you lovely HM friends in the chat. But also assure you, I've not taken anything illicit today. Just having one of those bad brain fog days. Welcome in, Pilco Gaming. How are you? First League member is Will. We'll see how we get on against him. Interesting, he went for Psychic. Amnesia is absolutely fine there. We're using our physical attack. Oof, we got confused. High roll is good though. And we snap out of confusion for the Jinx. There we go. 1 down. 3 to go. Up next is Koga. Surf's probably our best choice against the Fortress. Spikes is completely irrelevant to the situation. Return into Surf, maybe. He's minimalized. We hit through the minimalize, that's fine. One shot on the Venom Moth. And then Couple of surfs on the Crobat. There we go. Koga done. Up next is Bruno. Now, we could save a little bit of time, actually, on the Bruno fight, because we had a disaster yesterday, didn't we? It's almost something like 30 Ancient Powers before we got our Omni Boost. Now, we don't have the option for an Omni Boost on this one. We'll have to deal with what we've got. What we've got is high physical attack, a King's Rock, and a Prayer. And the ability to survive a cross chop. Excellent. Surf this Onyx away. We are through Bruno on our first attempt. So now we've clawed back about 2 or 3 minutes on the Omanyte time. Now, for this battle, what we're going to do is we're going to give the Bitter Berry. We're going to use those HP ups we've been picking up. We've got 105 in physical defense. Cross chop unless it crits. Wasn't as bad as it could have been. Now, this isn't a guaranteed strat with Karen, as we've seen there. But it definitely is worth a shot every single time. Especially now we're through the 2 most dangerous Pokemon. Swap to Surf for the Gengar. And here comes the nonsense. We've got to hit our next move, really, to proceed, which we do. What Kesha song got stuck in your head? Very interested to know that. We'll full restore. We'll also take this opportunity to use a Max Repel. Out for power points, we're absolutely fine. Let's see how we get on against Lance, the Liar with the Flyers. Looks like Hidden Power is just about cromulent enough for these level 47 Dragonites. Very fair that we got the TikTok song in our heads for what I said earlier. Battle's 3 now. Absolutely nothing that Lance can do. Healing Loop acquired. And we have defeated Lance. 118.05. For comparison, we defeated Lance in 110 on the nose in the Armor Star run. Hall of Fame time, 118.21. So we're about 8 minutes slower, which honestly isn't terrible. So let's skip through these end credits. And we'll see how we get on in the Kanto section. I'm pausing the timer at 118.21. We're on the home straight now, folks. We've only got another 8 badges plus a red fight and the whole of Nugget Bridge left to go. We will get through this together. Then we can all go home for the day. And we can do it all again tomorrow at 2. Now, this time I am purposely not getting Ice Beam, because we have abysmal special attack. I didn't realise we could get an encounter in the actual waterfall itself. Because what I was going to try and do was stealthily turn up. And then just use the repel as soon as we'd faced up. We can't learn Defense Curl. So we'll get out of here and we'll go over to Olivine City. My plan with these runs is to make Lance's spirits completely break. Like, if we can beat him with a Metapod, I'll be very happy. Congratulations on that shiny horsey. An incredibly good shiny, actually. I've not used Teemu. Bought a couple of things off Wish back in the day, and that was enough to put me off those kind of shopping styles for the longest time, really. We would be running with a vanilla Metapod Learn set. And with those, we're just going to abuse rare candies as much as we need. We'll give it a good solid try until we get to a place where we can't progress. And then we will be using the rare candy strat. And of course, the first thing we do in Kanto is the last thing we do in Johto. Getting another rare candy, this time from the chairman of the Pokemon Fan Club. Welcome in, Jimmy. That's very kind of you to say. How are you today? I love the Snom little profile picture you've got there. We will have to use Struggle in places, that is for well, actually, we'll have to use Struggle everywhere. That is for sure with the Cocoon Pokemon. I'm running under the assumption we one-shot this Magneton here. But there are only 27 mid-stage Pokemon we've got to get through. So my plan is to do the end of the line, and then we'll be doing the Stuck in the Middle with You series. Ditto will be an absolute nightmare, but I reckon it's entirely possible to complete the game with the Ditto. Wobbuffet is the one I am not looking forward to the most. I would have to consider what to do with Pokemon that get a DNF. I'd probably then count the number of badges, or just how far we got until the wall. Thank goodness this gym is very easy for us, because if we had much lower physical attack, we'd be up the creek without a paddle in this gym. Use Hidden Power against Tangela because it's got no special defense. Carry on Hidden Power against the Victory Bell just to be safe. Two-shot the Blossom. And then we'll return the Jumpluff. I reckon it's 6 or 1/2 dozen of the other with those two moves. Rainbow Badge in 1:23:08. I think it's such a scam that they've given Beldum Tackle now instead of Takedown. I also need to pick a colour for that series. I'm thinking about going orange. Red's Venusaur all depends on how Red's AI behaves. If he sees the one-hit KO with Giga Drain, it'll be a nightmare. If not, we've got 2 turns to knock it out. So it could be relatively free. If you've got to have a 4 times weakness against one of Red's Pokemon, then Venusaur is absolutely the one to have the 4 times weakness against. It's the easiest of all of them to get around. Something like the Zard and you are screwed. Because as we've seen time and time again, Flamethrower hurts. One of the ideas I have had for the Pokemon that don't finish is I might remove the level 100 level cap and just keep going until we can get through it up to level 255. Let's take on Sabrina. Thank you for the $2 super chat, Sora Donald Goofy. I will definitely enjoy a cold beverage on you later on. Because this is turning into a pre-recorded run, we do not have alerts on today, unfortunately. But thank you once again for the $2 super chat. It's such a scam that doesn't show up on the top bar there. Why am I going to Misty now? Goodness me. There's the machine part. Right, up the Nugget Bridge we go. I'd say making a fan game's harder. With the ROM hack, you've got all the assets there. And here is our favourite Wiggly Gran. She wiggles and she grans and she's absolutely disgusting. I love Wigglytuff. It's terrible in Gen 2, but I love it. Let's move on to the penultimate lass. With her pair of Paras and a Parasect. Trouble with Jigglypuff is it doesn't start with an attacking move. Right, we are through Nugget Bridge. That is the final slog of the game done. We've only got 6 or 7 more battles to go now, I want to say. We're going to cross one of these off now with Misty. Ooh, he low-rolled there. A Girafarig Redo currently holds the fastest time. That's why we're running Girafarig across three games a week on a Friday. So on the 16th of August, we're running Girafarig across Pokemon Fire Red, Pokemon Crystal, and Pokemon Emerald. I mean, of all the Pokemon to accidentally leave in the game, in the daycare, at least with Wigglytuff, you're able to still evolve it because it's a stone evolution. And we've been caught by 3-Drill on the way up this time. In early generations, the most you'll ever learn via, if you evolve via stone, is one move, generally in the mid-30s. I haven't done a Beedrill run yet, no Snicky. Snowy did one a little while ago, and I really didn't want to tread on their toes, so I'm giving it a little bit of time. And now Beedrill just doesn't quite fit into my schedule at the moment. Probably do it at some point in the new year. It will eventually get done. Because Snowy went for Beedrill, I went for Butterfree in the end instead. I think I'm going to do Ledyon first, because that's going to be the harder of the two. And then we'll finish off with Beedrill for those early bug types. Brock is down. We've got 2 more gym leaders to go, and then we have the red fight. Welcome in, Food Tubes. We are definitely encouraging good old Kabutops. I don't think it's going to beat Thomas Star at this point, but it's still going to get a very good runtime, considering its absolutely diabolical level up learn set. Yes, Twineedle can poison steel types in Gen 2. Bit of an oversight by Game Freak. A little bit like you can burn a fire type with Tri-Attack in Gen 2. This should be a very easy battle, much like it was yesterday. $131.58 for Blaine's badge. Let's go straight away over to blue. And let's see how we get on. Tri-Attack's my favourite move in the game. 30% chance of 3 very decent status conditions. I'm absolutely going to take that. Right, we're going to have to take a paused timer little reset here because Blue's AI is going straight for Whirlwind. When Blue goes for Whirlwind, we're left with no choice but to deposit the HM friends. But it's a quirk of the Gen 2 AI, so we don't hold that time against the Pokemon we're running. I mean, of all times for rollout to miss, that was the perfect time. Means we can swap to our Surf for these 2 Pokemon. And then we shall probably roll out again for Gyarados, try and avoid the healing loop. Perfect blue battle, really. 133.09. We shall unpause the timer once we start flying again. Yes, Executor did die to rollout. It was a range, but he just about managed it. So yes, we paused the timer because there's nothing we can do about Blue's AI there, and it would feel unfair to punish a Pokemon because it can't remain in battle. Because otherwise we'd have to deposit the HM friends for every single gym battle, and that's just not going to be a thing. Right, hopefully that is the 10th rare candy, otherwise I've forgotten one. I've forgotten a rare candy. Let's try and figure out where this rare candy is. Usual suspects are the Violet City one. Pick that one up. I'll check the lighthouse. I have a recollection of getting the goldenrod one, which is why I'm going to lighthouse first. Yeah, it was a lighthouse. There we go. We'll add the 3 or so seconds onto the timer for what it would have taken to pick up that rare candy. No plans on back ports in the near future at the moment. But never say never. I do have some up my sleeve that I might pull out. For the moment, I'm very much focusing on the vanilla Gen 2 experience again. Right, let's see how we get on. Is our speed above? Oh, our speed is already matching Pikachu. Goodness me. That little bit of extra grinding really has made all the difference. And then Espeon comes in and says, right, nope. We're going to risk Ancient Power, you know. Right, Pikachu's already irrelevant. Always good to see. We're not making any progress at all there. Let's get another 3 rare candies in. Exactly, we don't have to worry about Thunder from the Pikachu, and now we do outspeed the Espeon, which is a good sign. And at the moment, I'm just fishing for information about this fight. We return against Pikachu, that much is set in stone. I'm trying to fish for an Omni Boost there. So I know yesterday that didn't work out. But today, you never know. I don't ban Curse, no. I ban Rest Talk because Rest Talk is overpowered. But Curse, it's a last resort strategy for most Pokemon. But I would potentially use it in a pinch. Ideally, what I want to do is get a double Omni Boost, but that's a 1 in 100 chance. I think our best chance, really, is to just fish for this Omni Boost off the Espeon, you know. Actually, why am I not holding the lefties? That would make a lot of sense. I don't allow rest either, no. Both are banned. I sell both TMs. Because otherwise, every single Gen 2 run devolves into using Rest Talk, Return, and a 4th arbitrary remove at the end. We have an Omni Boost, and we don't have Reflect. This is a really good situation we're in at the moment. I'm going to fish for another Omni Boost. We didn't get it, but we outspeed the Venusaur and we knock it out in 2. Right, we can fish for another Omni Boost here, which we don't get, but again, we can knock this Snorlax out in 2. We'll stick with Return for the Blastoise, and we'll critical hit to one-shot. And then we can finish off the Zard. Choice of Surf and Ancient Power, much like yesterday, much of a muchness. And we're through red in 138.04. The Omni Boost saved the day both days running. I can relax now. That was a very fun run. Definitely more challenging than the Kabuto run. In the end, we were 6 and a bit minutes behind the Kabuto run, I do believe. 6 and a bit minutes? Yep, that sounds 7 and a bit minutes, I beg your pardon. Behind the Omnite run, not a bad run at all. Let me try and get this into the leaderboard. So this is Kabutops. It's an 01:38:04. It was the first attempt and it was a stream. Let's get the leaderboard all generated up. I'm going to save my splits at the same time to stick them on the spreadsheet. And let's now see if the leaderboard has generated. It's very weird we couldn't learn Earthquake. I thought it yesterday and I think it today as well. Where are we on this leaderboard? I can tell you that on the stream-only leaderboard, we are in 30th place. 10 places behind Omastar, 138.04. Pretty much what I expect from a Kabutops. That was a very, very good showing from Kabutops. Especially right at the end there, where things could have gone a little bit wrong. Kabutops really pulled it out of the bag. So I'm incredibly happy with that run. Right, let us get the overlay back up. There is one more thing we've got to do. Of course, at the end of all of our streams, we go back to Violet City. We're going to attach the mail to Kenya, and then we're going to send Kenya on their merry way. So Kenya, it's been an absolute pleasure over the last 100 minutes or so, but you've got to go home. I'm sure we'll see each other tomorrow in the next run. So we shall save the run outside Nurse Joy in Violet City. I will now say thank you all so much for popping into the stream. It has been an absolute pleasure as always. I'm going to be back same time, same place tomorrow at 2 PM running Aerodactyl. If you have enjoyed this stream, please do give it a like. It would be much appreciated. It will show more people the fun things we're doing here on the channel. And until tomorrow, I will say thank you especially to all of you for popping out. I don't know what I was going to say there. And of course, a big, big thank you to Sora Donald Goofy for the $2 super chat as well. Same time, same place tomorrow at 2 PM. We have a pre-rec coming out at 2 PM on Thursday as well. And then another stream at 2 PM on Friday. Have a lovely afternoon, evening, everyone. And I will see you, hopefully with a better voice, tomorrow.